This time on the Families Matter Most podcast.
I want to get all this housework done, and I'm going to meal prep, and I'm going to get this proposal done for work, and I'm going to get in and get these projects done, and I'm going to run these team meetings. They're kind of competing. The problem is we want both of these at the same time. If you win at one, you lose the other. So you always feel like you're failing. Is this you?
Every time Jen Dean speaks, I can see hope, knowledge, expertise, wisdom, and love.
When Jen Dean speaks about parenting, we make sure that we are there to listen because we know we will get valuable advice.
Families Matter Most with Jen Dean.
She doesn't just give skills for us to be better parents, but she teaches us how to reach our children's hearts. And at the end of the day, that's what truly matters.
Thanks so much for spending this time with me today. We're doing a whole series on time management. So I understand that this is a big deal for you. You're setting goals, you're creating your schedules, you're deciding where to spend your time, what activities you're going to put the kids in, what classes, what things you're going to do to take care of yourself. When are you going to fit in your workouts? You're making all these decisions, and you decided to give this 15, 20 minutes of your time to Families Matter Most. I really do appreciate it. One of the reasons I fell in love with podcasts, even before I started making my own, is that we could download them. I could listen to them in the car. I could listen to them when I went on a walk. I could, go out with my dog and run some errands and get some really good teaching. And I wanted an opportunity to share some things with you that were more than just quick little 1 or 2 minute tidbits. I wanted to give you some real information, some tools that could make a difference in your life, with your kids, in your marriage, for you to help you show up as the person you want to be. So welcome. Let's all take a deep breath. Hold it in and let it out. Shoulders drop. Oh, that feels so much better. I'm so glad you're here. If you haven't already, go back and listen to podcast episode number 5 on time management. It's the first one. It's called The Big Picture. And we tried to take a step back as you're planning these next few months, this chunk of time. And you can listen to this podcast anytime, but I created it in August thinking that it would be perfect for August, September as you're figuring life out. I know January 1st is officially the beginning of the year, but aren't you with me in that really it's September? September is the new year. Can we just be honest? That's when we make the decisions for our whole lives, and we make commitments for our time, for our money, for our kids. We make all these commitments now in August and September, and then we have to hold to it sometimes until March, April, May, June, July even. So let's make better decisions this year. If you feel like you've struggled with burnout, with overwhelm, with feeling like, man, I feel like I suck at everything. I feel like I'm just failing at everything. I'm doing so many things. I've got so many things on my plate, and I'm not doing one thing in my life well. If that's you, we're tackling that in this series on time management. This is podcast number 76, and it is time management with a focus on competing goals. Competing goals. This is for all the people who feel like I can't win. No matter what I do, I feel like I'm failing. I could have a really great day with the kids, but I feel like I've dropped the ball at home. We ate hot dogs for supper. I didn't give them a healthy meal. My house is a mess. I didn't get, my bills paid. I didn't think about that thing for work. Or I didn't get that closet organized or whatever it is. You feel like no matter what, I can't win. Because if I rock it with the kids, then I'm failing somewhere else. And if I have a whole day where I'm organizing and cleaning and tidying and doing the admin or working on that proposal or doing the emails, then I feel like I've blown it at home and I've just completely ignored my family and I wasn't present. And yeah, I could have nailed it with that proposal, but at the cost of my family, and I feel like a horrible mother. Anyway. I'm not the only one. I struggled with this for a long time, especially because I work from home mainly. So now half of my time is spent at a radio station. But that's just within the past year. Before that, I was working at home. There was a chunk of time I didn't have an office, and I was working at my kitchen island, which I must say is a really, really terrible idea. Please give yourself a proper space. I look back now and no wonder it took me 5 times as long to get anything done. There were distractions everywhere. And I was just cranky a lot of the time. I was I was cranky at my children because, of course, I'm right there. Hey, mom. Hey, mom. Hey, mom. Get yourself your own space. Get yourself a space with a door. And I'm serious. I don't care if it's a closet. I don't care. I don't care if it's a little TV stand in your bedroom that you have to kind of block off. At least there's a door you can shut for the majority of the day. Do that. That's just a side thing. That's a bonus tip that I have learned the hard way. If you have to sit in the trunk of your car, it has to be a separate space that you could walk away from. That's just going to help you. The topic today is competing goals. I get this all the time with clients. They have competing lanes. Think about a race. There's different tracks to run in, right? Different lanes. One track maybe for you is being calm and peaceful. You really want that. You want to be easygoing and flexible. You want to accept life just as it is. You want to find joy with your kids. You want to look for positives in your life. You just want to be that person of peace and love and joy. Can we call that our hippie track? That's what we want. You might have another track, another lane when you're super motivated to make some big health changes in your life. You want to work on character and obedience with your kids. You're like, that's it. That's it. We're putting the hammer down and the kids are going to learn to listen and we're going to focus on giving instructions and the kids following through. And I'm going to make sure that they're doing their chores and they're saying, okay, mom, and they're being kind to their siblings. That's another track. That's like a super determined track. You're highly motivated in that track. You're productive. If you're a homeschool mom, then this productive, motivated track, this is going to make you want to be, highly academic. You're going to want to get all that curriculum accomplished. You're going to get the schoolwork done. That's it. Our school starts at 9 a.m. You're going to be there. We're going to get going. We're going to be done by noon or whatever it is. You're very motivated in this track. The frustrating part is that they're competing. Because if you win at one, it feels like you lose in the other. Let's say you have your productive, motivated track compared to your hippie track, right? They are kind of competing. For you to be zen and peaceful and calm and just easygoing and flexible doesn't quite fit with the hammer down, school starts at 9, or we're going to work on, potty training the kids, or I want to get all this housework done and I'm going to meal prep and I'm going to get this proposal done for work and I'm going to get in and get these projects done and I'm going to run these team meetings. They're kind of competing. The problem is we want both of these at the same time. If you win at one, you lose the other. So you always feel like you're failing. Is this you? You can see yourself in this, right? I mean, adapt what I'm saying to your situation, but you get what I'm saying. If you feel like to be super productive and get all your to-dos and your tasks done, you got to be a bit of a drill sergeant. You got to be super task focused. You're not stopping to smell the roses. You're not finding the joy in the little things. You're getting the stuff done. It's like, man, I am a boss today. But then you feel like, man, I'm a horrible mother, or I wasn't, a very thoughtful wife, or I didn't stop and meditate for an hour. So maybe I've failed in the hippie track. That's the struggle. And you're not alone. There is a term for this in psychology. It's called cognitive dissonance. It's when we want two competing things at the same time. So we have two different thoughts, like I need to be super productive versus I need to be calm and peaceful. They're competing and we want both of them at the same time. It could also be two different goals. I want to be super healthy. I also want to eat the donuts. Yes, I have this one frequently. They're competing, right? I can't eat all the donuts and be super healthy, but yet I want both of these at the same time. This is cognitive dissonance. It's a real thing. And good news is you can work on it. You can work to improve it. You can work to reduce it. You can work to remove it completely. How much more peace would you have in your life if you could feel okay about where you were at? If you could truly accept what track you were in at that time and be all right with it. So let's start with this today. First of all, figure out what track you're in. Let's figure this out. First of all, you could be in a different track every day. You could be in a different track different times of the day. It could depend on how your kids are behaving, or if you got a phone call that's put you into a bit of a crisis where, oh my goodness, you forgot you had a doctor's appointment and it's in half an hour and Now you're scrambling to get there. That throws you out of peaceful Zen hippie track in a heartbeat. You could even have different tracks based on the sleep you had the night before or the week of your cycle. Ladies, if you've tracked it, you know, depending the week of the cycle you're in can make a huge difference on which track, which lane you're in. Are you super tired? Are you emotional? Are you hormonal? Are you feeling productive and motivated? Are you feeling like you want to curl up on a couch somewhere and eat chips? This could be because of your cycle. So start thinking about that. Start tracking it. I like clients to have a couple of different tracks, and we figure it out together. But here are some common ones. One track is the energy track. You're motivated. You want to get a lot done. You can be very goal-oriented. You feel hopeful and positive about the future. That's often, ladies, the first week of our cycle. Week 1 of our cycle is often this way. We're motivated. Most of us sign up to the gym and we'll get a personal trainer or a coach in week 1 of our cycle. It's when we're the most hopeful, we're determined, we're motivated, we're going to crush these goals, we're going to get it done. That's the energy track, the productive track. Another track, let's have one for when you're exhausted, when you have very low patience, when you're not motivated. You need a track for that. I have one. I call it my maintenance track. And it is what is the bare minimum that I need to do to still be moving forward? I don't want to go backwards, right? I don't want to fall apart completely. I am not suggesting we throw away all of our goals and we just give up and we just say, forget it, I'll start again next year. No, I want a bare minimum track. What's the bare minimum that you could do on your hardest days when you're exhausted? We need that. It's a maintenance track. We're not trying to reach our goals. We're just trying to maintain what we've already done. We just don't want to go backwards. What's your plan for your hardest days? What is the minimum? For some moms, it's, I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to have a shower. That's the minimum that I can do to keep kind of maintaining some semblance of feeling human on the hardest days. Maybe you have frozen pizza you keep in the freezer. This is not the day when you're exhausted, when you're in your maintenance track. This is not the day to try and reach some lofty goal. This is not the day to crush a 2-hour workout or to decide you're going to, pick up a kid and teach them, I don't know, knitting. It's not going to go well. You're not going to have good patience. You are not your best self on those days. Today is the day for slow walks. Today's the day for grace for everyone, including yourself. I don't have deep conversations on those days. I refuse. I actually say, I'm not my best today. Can we talk about this tomorrow? I will say that. You might have heard me say that. I'm not my best today. I don't let my thoughts go too far. When I am in a maintenance track or an exhausted track, I can't let my thoughts go too far. I have to rein them in because I feel like if I let them go and I just let them kind of run free, they will inevitably go somewhere terrible. They will be a negative thought spiral and I will be crying somewhere feeling like a failure in life and that I should quit everything. And I'm horrible on the radio and I'm terrible as a life coach and I'm failing in my business and I'm not serving my clients. I will go down, and I'm a horrible mother. I'm a terrible mother. And what kind of family coach is, should I be if I can't even do a good job with my own family because I'm not reaching the hearts of my kids and I'm not a good wife and I'm not a good parent. You see where this goes. I try not to let my thoughts even go there. And it was hard at first, but it's gotten much easier, actually. I just put a block there. I just say, nope, I'm not thinking about that right now. Today's not my day. I am in a maintenance track today. Today is the bare minimum. It will be better tomorrow. Tomorrow I can think about these things, not today. I don't make decisions. Don't make decisions when you're in that place. I don't make decisions about my business, my kids, my marriage, my finances, myself. I don't make decisions and judgments about myself because 100% of the time they're going to be negative. They are. This is not the day. In fact, if you have something scheduled, if you have signed up for like a 360-degree review or something on a day, you really need to be careful. At the radio station, we have air checks where really and truly, like, our bosses listen to our radio breaks and then they critique them. And I will tell you, some days they fall on my bare minimum exhausted maintenance track days. And I have got to be so good beforehand. I've got to like pull myself together and say, Jen, just know going in, I feel kind of silly, but this is really how I coach myself. This is the self-talk that I give myself before a meeting like this, where the purpose of this meeting is to critique me. So I 100% know they're going to find things that I'm not doing great. I coach myself. I say, Jen, you're going into this meeting where they have to find things to help you improve. This is for your benefit. This is not personal. They are going to find some things that you're good at. And your brain, I say this to myself, your brain is going to it's going to hold on to the things that are negative. Your brain right now, because you're in this place of exhaustion, you're in this place of maintenance, you're hormonal, you're tired, whatever it is, your brain is going to want to hold on to the negative and it's going to want to discount the positive. So take everything with grace. Take everything with grace. It's not as bad as it sounds. It's always going to feel worse than it really is. And these people care about you and they want you to do well. I have to coach myself on those days. Now, if I was in a different track, it wouldn't be like that. It wouldn't feel the same way. But if I'm tired, if I'm hormonal, if for whatever reason, if I'm in a maintenance track, I need to be really, really careful of my thoughts. The win for the maintenance track is trying to get the bare minimum done with a decent attitude. Yeah. So find a little bit of patience, find some grace for yourself, and don't let your thoughts get out of control. Don't let your words get out of control. Really rein in your thoughts, rein in your tongue. Don't let yourself start, spewing whatever's going on because it's probably not going to be great. The win for the exhausted maintenance track is, what's the bare minimum that I can do in a day that I can do with a decent attitude? That's the goal. That is the win. Very, very different from the other track. The win in your motivated track, the win in your energy track, in your productive track, that's going to be very different. That win is going to be, did I accomplish the things? Did I attack that task list and get all the things done? Was I up at 5 and doing my workout and meal prepping and having the salad for lunch and meeting with the people and having the emails and the proposal went well and organizing and paying the bills and rocking the admin? Is that the win? Just keep these things in mind, because if you're in the energy track, the win is going to be very different. And this is what we do. This is what we do, is we hold ourselves to these other things. So if you're in the energy track and you have all these wins, but then you're like, oh, but I wasn't peaceful and calm, I was a bad mom, that's not fair. I want you to set up the win ahead of time. If you're in the exhausted track, I don't want you to compare yourself to the productive days. I don't want you to look back and be like, well, okay, I didn't yell at my kids and I had a nap today and I had a shower, but I didn't organize the thing and pay the bills and write the emails and do the work project. No, different goals, different tracks. Every lane has a different goal. What's the win? What is the goal? I realize this is kind of vague because I'm trying to take the most frequent examples I get when I'm working with clients and make them into big groups for you. If this is confusing, if I've been too vague and you'd rather work this through separately, then book a free strategy call. Let's sort it out. And we can see if coaching is for you, but if nothing else, I can help you set up these tracks and these wins so you're not holding yourself to all these different competing thoughts, that cognitive dissonance that really just makes us feel like a failure 100% of the time. We don't need that in our life anymore. Here's your homework. I want you to come up with different tracks for you. What are the different lanes in your life? Like maybe you see a pattern where you have some really good days and some really bad days. What do they look like for you? Create one that's task focused for the most productive days. Create another one for when you're motivated to do hard things like work on character, personal development with your kids or for yourself. Maybe you want to complete the hardest workout. And make another track completely for when you want to enjoy some peace and calm. These are all good things. Remember, make a hippie track for yourself so you can have those flexible, easygoing, you know what, today I'm not really looking for the negatives. Today, we're going to have the peace and the calm and the laughter and the joy and the love. That's all we're going to focus on today. A win for today is, did we have some belly laughs? Did I point out 3 positive things to every person in my family today? That's the goal. That's the win. You're not holding yourself to the other tracks. You're not upset because you didn't accomplish all the to-dos. You're not upset because you didn't do that hardest workout. The goal for that day is Hippie Peace Love Day. You can be flexible and have fun and just enjoy the journey. So you're going to have at least 3 tracks, but I want one more. I want a Hail Mary track. I want an emergency track for those days when everything falls apart. You've had one of those days, you had big plans, you were excited, you were going to get so many things done, and then one of your kids wakes up puking, and you just know, that's it now. This next couple of days is going to be awful. All my kids are going to get, you know they have heralded in a few days of sickness and terribleness, and your life is now going sideways. I need another track for that. Maybe on those days, maybe you have unlimited TV. On those days, maybe it's cereal for supper. I want another track. What's the win on those days? What's the win on the emergency days when life goes sideways? Maybe you don't even get a shower that day, but you can do it without losing it. You can do it and still keep your patience and keep a little bit of peace if you can, and try not to yell at the kids. Could that be a win? Could you just smile and just, love on them and help them as best you can? That is not the day to go into any other track except the emergency Hail Mary track. So that's 4. That's 4 tracks. Which one are you in today? And do you feel those competing goals? Do you kind of feel it inside? Like, oh, I should be here. I should be doing this. Oh, I had fun with my kids, but I should have done housework. Or, I'm at work and I'm killing it at work, but I should be at the park. Are you doing that to yourself? We can't live that way. I don't want that for you. And you don't have to live that way. So be encouraged. That's your homework, is to figure out some different tracks that you can move into, and you can just slide into them. Some clients, we work on switching them out multiple times a day. Maybe the mornings are really good, super productive for you, and those are your energy motivated productive track. Maybe your afternoon is more hippie track. It's zen, calm. You're going to snuggle with the kids, or you're going to relax and do something more creative. We can work with all of these, but I think the goal is that we're not trying to hold ourselves to all the things all the time. So as you're figuring out your schedule and time management, as you're doing some goal setting in this next season, I want you to figure out goals for these different tracks that are going to make a difference in your day-to-day life. This is going to help you show up and kind of accept where you're at, accept how it's going today, and not just feel like you're struggling and overwhelmed. Try this out. Let me know how it goes. Book a free strategy call if this is hard. Cognitive dissonance, it's a big deal. It's not easy. Psychologists are working with this all the time, but I can get you started in the right direction. I can't wait to meet with you.
Families Matter Most with Jen Dean, part of the Saskatchewan Podcast Network.
Have you booked a free strategy call yet? Because I offer free one-on-one video chats to see what coaching could be like for you. So if you've never tried it, you need to book a free strategy call right now. There's private coaching if you want help in your parenting, if you want help to deal with some anger, to work on some of your kids' negative behaviors, because yep, they all have them. If you want that, you're going to want private coaching. But also, if you want to work on you, if you're in a place where you would say, you know what, I need to work on myself so that I can show up better for my family, so that I can take care of stress and anger, so that I can be a better mom, that I can show up and be more positive to the people in my life. If that is where you're at, then book this call. Let's see if private coaching or group health coaching would be a good fit for you. Book a free strategy call today.